Urbanization and political machines. In this video, we will discuss the movement of people from the countryside to the booming American cities. One of the most important effects of the Second Industrial Revolution was urbanization and the subsequent explosive growth of cities. The movement of people from the countryside into cities had many push and pull factors. Railroads made traveling to cities easier and made transportation hubs like Chicago and Atlanta grow rapidly. Factories and city services provided jobs at a time that the countryside was in crisis. Cities also attracted people with their cultural opportunities and variety of city life and convenience. Urban challenges. Urbanization happened too fast, and cities were not prepared to receive a big influx of people, and soon urbanization created problems of its own. Many cities lacked sufficient hospitals, police forces, public schools, fire departments, street cleaning, and garbage collection services for their populations. One of the major urban problems was overcrowding and city slums. As workers poured into the inner city looking for jobs, the middle class moved out for better housing. The abandoned buildings were converted into tenements. Tenements were small rooms that barely meet living requirements. Entire families were crowded into these rooms, often without proper ventilation, heating, or lighting. The rooms lacked private toilets. Usually bathrooms had to be shared with other families. Another problem was the lack of sanitation. Most cities had no sewage system, and raw sewage sometimes flowed into sources of drinking water. Epidemics like cholera or typhoid spread from contaminated water and killed many people. Garbage collection and street cleaning were also inadequate. Furthermore, factories polluted the air and the water with smoke, ashes, or chemicals. Traffic congestion was also a problem. Cities grew suddenly, and roads were not wide enough for the increased traffic. Vast differences of wealth were evident, as the rich lived close to the poor, creating social tensions. Political machines. Most cities were run by political machines or organizations controlled by a strong leader or a boss that gets citizens to vote for certain candidates on elections. People worked in the machines in exchange for political favors or rewards. These machines would usually help immigrants and the poor in return for their votes. The most famous political machine in the United States was Tammany Hall in New York City. Tammany Hall named and elected mayors and other public officials of New York City from the 1850s all the way to the 1930s. The most famous Tammany Hall politician was William Marcy, widely known as Boss Tweed, the most corrupted politician of his day, made a personal fortune by accepting kickbacks or payments made by contractors to obtain government contracts. Grafts or bribery used to secure illicit gains from politics or business became the grease that kept the machine running. George Washington Plunkett, a Tammany Hall, New York legislator, distinguished between dishonest graft, which was only for personal gain, and honest graft, which benefited the party, the machine, and the state. Despite the legacy of corruption, the machines did provide important social services to those in need at a time when the government could not handle the many social problems created by urbanization. Political machines lent money, provided jobs, and gave emergency assistance for food, coal, or rent. Later political reforms were introduced to discourage corruption, and municipal government were better equipped to solve the city's social problems.